Why can restaurants and diners pump out amazing looking breakfast plates and a perfect large amount of smash burgers in no time flat, while we at home struggle to get the same results sometimes on our Blackstone griddle? Well, my first guess is temperature control. Is probably what's tripping up you, and I know it's what tripped me up when I first got a griddle 5 years ago. See, I worked in diners and restaurants for 15 years, including 2 years as a manager of Bob Evans, which is a diner in the Midwest. When I got my griddle 5 years ago, I thought they would cook the same. Boy, was I wrong. They do not cook the same. So I'm gonna go over the 3 main differences between a residential Blackstone griddle and a commercial one in a restaurant or diner. And then I'm gonna give you 4 tips that will hopefully help you achieve close to a restaurant quality meal on your griddle at home. I'm not gonna lie to you and say, oh, it's gonna be just as good or you'll make better food at home than a restaurant. It'll be close. Some of it could be better, some of it could be worse. You know, I'm not trying to sell you a griddle. I'm just gonna show you how I do things to get what I think are pretty good results at home on my griddle. So the first is the type of material this is made of. This is cold rolled steel. In a restaurant, you're usually gonna have a stainless steel. The stainless ones don't need season. These need season like cast iron. It's not cast iron, but it's close. You add layers of seasoning, burn off that oil, and then you get a non-stick surface on there. They can also rust because you are adding that seasoning and because you're outside, like I am right now in the snow for some reason, making a video. But so that's not something that you're obviously gonna run into inside a commercial kitchen. It's not gonna rust, and stainless doesn't really rust. So you gotta watch out for that, and you gotta have care and maintenance for this and season it properly. I'm not gonna go over all the seasoning and maintenance in this video. I'll link that at the end if you're a new griddle owner. This is more just about why they're different and how to adjust for cooking. So this is not very thick. I mean, you're talking like that thick. There's a lip on the front, but it's not even that. Where a commercial one is a lot thicker. So what that means is this is gonna heat up really quick in like 10 minutes if it's a normal day and not wintertime. It's gonna get really, really hot. Where at Bob Evans, it took us like 30, 45 minutes in the morning. I'd turn the flat tops on for them to get up to temp. So if you walk away from this, it's gonna get really, really hot depending on how long you preheat it. Also, because it's thinner, the more food you put on here, it could drop quicker. Where a commercial one's so thick, you can load it up with a ton of burgers and stuff, and it's really gonna maintain its heat a lot better because it's such a thicker piece of metal. This could drop in temp. I'm not saying you can't do a lot of food, you can, just be aware. You know, you might have to, after it gets hot for fried rice, put it on there and then maybe turn it up a little more to continue to do that. Or if you're doing a cookout and you do 8 burgers and then 8 more burgers and then hot dogs, you know, you might have to keep adjusting. I'm losing my breath because it's so cold. And then more hot dogs, you might have to keep adjusting the temperature on there. So, you know, the thickness is really a difference there. So a lot of commercial griddles, like the ones I was used to, had a thermostat on them. So instead of low, medium, high, or this doesn't even say low, medium, high, this just has like dots and colors on here. Instead of that, it might say 350, 375, 400. Turn it to that, the flat top just stays there. So the thermostat is kicking the heat on and off to make sure it stays at 375 no matter if there's no food on there or if there's more food on there. Again, these don't. So if you put it on medium and you preheat for 5 minutes and then 10 minutes and then 15 minutes, it's just gonna get hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. So that's hard to like adjust. You gotta learn how to kind of adjust to those things. Which is why I always do my recipes and I always cook by temperature, not by the knobs. Another reason for that is like you could have a 2 burner and I have a 4 burner. You could be in Florida, I'm in Ohio. You know, all those things. It could be 30 degrees here and it could be, I don't know, 60 degrees in Florida right now. That sounds nice, I wish I was there. But yeah, so that's why I always, for my recipes, I don't say turn to medium or anything. I always give you a temperature. My solution to all these things is to get an infrared thermometer. I've had a couple different brands before. Right now, I like the ThermoPro 2-in-1 because it's infrared and it's a probe to go into the meat. And your infrared can give you your exact griddle temperature on that exact day of your griddle. So there's no guessing of like where you need to get it at. Okay, now that we know the differences between a residential and a commercial griddle or a Blackstone and a restaurant, I'm gonna give you the 4 tips to make your food better. We'll go over the first 2 quick and then get to the last 2, which are temperature related. So first, prep ahead. You got to prep ahead. Just like, I'm still terrible at this, but you don't want to be outside yelling back into your wife, we need more cheese. And then she's yelling back, you're like, what kind of cheese? I'm like, American, what else you can put on a hamburger? You know, it's not good for your marriage. Free marriage advice from me to you. You're welcome. I'm not even gonna charge you for that. So prep ahead. I still am terrible at this at times, but make a list, check it twice, whatever you got to do, Santa Claus that thing, and then take your food out, and it should all be right there, because once the griddle meal starts, you want everything in arm's reach. You're not in your kitchen. Cooking order is the first thing I learned at Bob Evans. It seems obvious, but it wasn't to me, because again, you know, state school here, not too smart, but and so maybe not everybody knows about it, but you cook whatever takes the longest first. So for breakfast, I'll put down bacon and shredded hash browns first. They're gonna take 10 minutes or so before you flip them. When you put your hash browns down, lots of oil, don't touch them for 10 minutes. Bonus tip. And then after those are done, I'll put down my pancakes. That's another 2-3 minutes. Then eggs are last. Eggs are always last, because they cook the fastest. So another example would be steak. I like to get a nice sear on my steak and then rest it. So I put the steak down, get it cooked, seared, and then I want to rest for 10 minutes. So I don't put the veggies with the steak. When I pull it off, I let it rest for 10 minutes. Then I cook the mushrooms and the onions in the steak drippings and whatnot while it rests, then cut it and enjoy myself a nice steak. What temperature do you cook everything at? Well, when I was a manager at Bob Evans, first thing we did every morning is, there's multiple flat tops, is turn the eggs and omelet one to about 325 degrees. Then the meat, pancakes, and potatoes one went to 375 degrees. If you want to get a good sear on your steak or your smash burger, I'd recommend going up to 450 or above. Now, all of this stuff I have on a temp chart that's in my ebook, along with 101 griddle recipes if you want to get that, but you don't need to. A simple acronym I came up with, which hopefully is helpful, is EGGS, E-G-S. E stands for eggs and omelets. And again, that is between 300 to 325 degrees. G is for general cooking. I do that at 375 to 400. S is for searing, so that would be steaks, smash burgers, searing. Look at all those S's, easy to remember. 450 degrees plus. So what's general cooking? Like pretty much everything that's not smash burgers and steaks or eggs. Like that, I do most of my stuff at 375. So hopefully that's helpful. Or buy the ebook, I don't know, hook a brother up. Now, how are we gonna get to these temperatures? We'll go in reverse order. We'll start with hot. If you want it really hot, put it on medium, medium high, wait 10 minutes. Kind of already went over that, right? So, I mean, they're gonna get hot. Probably after 10 minutes, you'll be over to 450, maybe higher, 500 if you wanna get a really good sear on your steak. 375 to 400, that's usually like 7 minutes for me on medium low in summertime, not in the middle of winter, right now. But again, all those factors, time of year, type of griddle, temperature outside, that all plays into it. So just get an infrared thermometer, but I don't preheat. I check after 5 minutes. I go like medium low, I wait 5 minutes, then I check. I don't wait too long. Eggs and omelets are gonna be last because we already went over cooking orders, so those should be last, right? So this can be kind of difficult sometimes because again, we want them lower temperature, 300 to 325, but we've been cooking the whole time. The griddle's getting hotter even though we have food on it. How do we get it down? Well, there's two things. You could use some warm or hot water. Don't put cold water on your griddle top. It might mess up the seasoning, but warm or hot water, just tap water, as warm as you can get it, can lower the temperature and clean your griddle a little bit, get it ready for the eggs. Or I'll just turn a burner off. Maybe if I'm just doing 2 eggs over easy or something, I'll turn the whole thing off and probably cook those eggs in the residual heat. There's enough on there to do it. Let's say I'm doing like 2 omelets though at the end and I can't turn the whole thing off. Maybe I'll just rotate some burners. So maybe I'll turn the middle 2 off and the outside ones on and then just cook in the middle of the griddle and like the heat's coming in. Or you can try the other way with just like 1 burner on, 1 burner off, 1 burner on. Just mess around with it. You got to get used to your own griddle, but don't be afraid to turn some burners off towards the end. There's plenty of heat distributing to where it'll lower, but it's not going to warp or anything because you have uneven temperatures. So again, if you want my ebook, you can scan this QR code or it's in the description. And that playlist I mentioned is right here. It goes over seasoning, cleaning, temp control, smash burgers, breakfast, just all the beginner stuff, 5 easy beginner meals. It's a great playlist you might want to mark for yourself to come back to if you're a brand new griddle owner. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great one. Keep on griddling.